Well, good morning, everyone. Father Mark here with today's Saint of the Day, John Baptiste Marie Vianney, or I should say Jean Baptiste Marie Vianney. So his English translation would be John Vianney, Saint John Vianney, born in 1786 in France. So that would have been the time of the French Revolution, which plays a really big part in the shaping of his character. He is the fourth of 6 children, but due to the revolution, he really things were difficult and challenging. He was raised in a very, very devout and Catholic home, but the Catholic Church was being persecuted, and specifically a priest. So priests had to go underground in order to deliver the sacraments. So as a result of this, he really saw priests as being heroes. They were the heroes that were willing to put their lives on the line in order to keep the faith forward and available for the people. So at a very early age, he starts to kind of formulate the idea of perhaps this might be a direction he wants to take in his life. But formally for his education, it's a very, very difficult time. So he's learning what he can through the family on the farm. Does not have much of a formal education. And then finally gets to the point where things have lightened up. I think it's 1802 when Napoleon rescinds all the restrictions against the Catholic Church, and now it's okay to celebrate the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. So this gives John Vianney an opportunity to further his studies in seminary. So he goes to a little minor seminary, but this is now he's 20 years old. So he's significantly behind in his education. So he struggles in seminary. It's kind of a famous story in seminary of the Bishop of Loris, Bishop Loris from Dubuque, who actually slapped him one day in class because he was holding the class back because he just couldn't quite keep up with the Latin studies. So Bishop Loris from Dubuque is kind of famous for having slapped a saint. And we used to joke with my brother priest from the Diocese of Dubuque. But so he continues just to work hard at his education. It didn't come naturally for him because he had to play catch up for all those years that he just didn't have that formal education. So he worked hard, and he did, I think, a fairly good job. It was just specifically with Latin that he really struggled, and that's the language that they were taught. They learned the faith in seminary in Latin. So very, very difficult and challenging for them. But eventually, he gets ordained, and they send him away. They just didn't think that he was very, very bright. So they sent him to a small country parish in Ars, France. This is where he becomes known as the Curé de Ars. So he goes out there with some difficult times. So not many people are taking their faith very, very seriously. So we're coming out of the French Revolution. So the church had been persecuted. So there's a lot of dancing and just revelry that's going on. And John Vianney has to try to get their attention. So he does just some amazing things in his homilies. But where he does his most important work is in the Sacrament of Reconciliation. He just slowly starts getting more and more people coming to him. There's something about his style in the Sacrament of Reconciliation that continues to draw people to him. I think a lot of it has to do with his penance. He was known for his severe penances, said to have lived off of rotten potatoes and things like that. So he was a very, very thin and gaunt priest. But as time goes by and he grows in his faith, 30 years into his priesthood, it is said that up to 20,000 people a year came to him for reconciliation. So let's just do the math on that, right? 20,000 divided by 365 is a lot. A lot of people coming to him on a daily basis. If you actually want to do the arithmetic, it's actually an average of 55 people a day that came to him for reconciliation, that were drawn to him. So his reputation grows as just this wonderful and holy man. But as his faith grows, he finally gets to the point where he really wants to become a monk. And he tries to escape from the church at Ars 4 different times, just to kind of walk away and become a monk. But the people missed him so much that they would go back and they would go out and grab him and they would convince him to come back. So the curate of ours, Saint John Vianney, a wonderful inspiration for me. He is the patron saint of priest, diocesan priest. So a big fan. I'm a big fan of Saint John Vianney. So if you have an opportunity today, go online and learn some more about this incredibly holy man who brought the love and forgiveness of Jesus to a lot of people. So Saint John Vianney, pray for us. Have a wonderful day. And if I don't, and we won't see you, so have a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless.